I found a new pocket. Normally, I use my little cord, just kind of stuff my homily in my little cord, but then it's just this big whole scene where it's like this. But then I'm like, wait a second, there's like a little pocket right here in my sleeve. So I'm going to do that from now on. It has nothing to do with anything, just sharing. What a way to start a homily, right? It seems to me that Jesus, lately, in these past few weeks, has been just asking a lot of us. It's not like he's just doing, be good, love people, but like he's taking our worldview by storm and he's challenging us. It's like he's not okay with us just being average. It's like he consistently is like, hey, people, be saints. And he's going to give us this roadmap and this path to follow, the best way to help us get to heaven and this best way to help us become saints. And now it's our job to respond to that and to listen to that. So as people, all of us, we all want to do good in the world. We do. I mean, I know I say things like this all the time, but I don't know anyone who doesn't want to do good. And just like, I would just love to just do nothing good in my life. No one's ever said that. And no one ever would. If they do, they're lying or they're crazy. But we all have these other things in this desire to do good in the world. We have these things called suggestions. We all have opinions, and we all have our intentions when we're trying to do these things. But what is Christ asking of us this week? How is he pushing us in this direction of sainthood? Well, let me try this one. Christ is asking us to be less worried and less concerned or obsessed with the mistakes of other people, and to redirect that attention that we have into fixing our own shortcomings and turning our vices into virtues. Let me say that again. Jesus is less worried. He wants us to be less worried or concerned or obsessed with the mistakes of other people, the mistakes that others make. And he wants us to redirect that attention to fixing our own shortcomings and turning our vices that we have in our lives, turning those vices into virtues. Now, does that sound good? Yeah, right, easy, done. And if we can do that, if we can turn our vices into virtues and be less worried about the mistakes that everyone else is making and focus more on becoming a saint and less worried about if the person next to me has good posture or they're speaking right or they're saying the right things or doing the right stuff, maybe we'll actually get into heaven. If we become less focused on whether this person right here is doing the right bow or doing the right things or not sinning or not making mistakes, and focus on, well, maybe I should actually pray instead of worrying about this. Maybe this person should worry about this person. What a concept, right? Then what happens is when we can focus on making sure that we can see clearly, making sure that we live lives of virtue, then it's not the blind leading the blind, as Jesus says in our gospel. Because what happens so easily is when, this is just humanity, I think. I mean, I do it all the time. I mean, it's so easy for us to focus on the mistakes and shortcomings of others, because when we do that, we're not actually fixing and working on becoming better ourselves. Instead of working on becoming a saint individually, it's so easy to just point out the bad in others instead of saying, okay, how can I actually become a saint? I mean, I can point out, it's like you, and you. It's like, you got to do all these things and just fix these things. And when we're doing that, we're not actually striving to turn our vices into virtues. And we're not actually dealing with the faults that we actually commit on a daily basis. We're actually ignoring them. And then we don't get any better. And then does the other person get any better when we're just calling out all these things that other people need to fix? These intentions, yes, they're good. But Christ wants us to become saints so then we can truly and authentically help other people become saints as well. Because, as Jesus says, bad trees don't bear good fruit, but good trees bear good fruit. So, make yourself a tree. I know, pick an apple tree or whatever you want to be. I don't care. Make sure that tree is good, and then start helping others. Because if we got all of these mistakes, if we got all of this bad fruit, if we got all of these bad vices in our lives, then are we qualified to really be like pointing out all these mistakes in other people? And I think that's what Christ is really challenging us to think about. To make sure that we can fix what's going on in here so that we can more accurately help and more authentically help others. Anyone can point out flaws in other people, but it takes a true saint to really look authentically at our own lives and help ourselves become better. Doing that and not ignoring ourselves, not ignoring the issues that we have or the mistakes that we have, taking care of ourselves and helping ourselves become saints, that's not selfish. It's doing what Christ is calling us to do. It's becoming a saint. And if we can become a saint, then we have saints helping saints, and not blind people helping blind people.